Follow the purple king.
We're back! It's Pete the Hipster King from the Hairy Game Lords, and we have had our first game night in person. It's dark, it's freezing cold, we're
so
in a garden,
cold.
But we're back. And tonight, the first game we've played together is this, Impendium. What did we think? Find out. So we've been playing this, Impendium from Dragon Egg Games, and this is the sequel to Nova Lux, which was released on Kickstarter. I've played this as solo. I really enjoyed it as a solo game. Basically, it's a kind of resource management, and you're moving around an ever-growing solar system, an ever-changing solar system, harvesting resources from different stars that you're building colonies on. The more colonies on each star you get, the different you get sort of multiples of the different types of resources that star can provide, and you then use those resources to get yourself additional powers, or to buy yourself places on new stars, create new stars. And if you bring a new star in and put stars together that form a galaxy, you then become, if you've got, it's a bit area control, if you've got the majority in that area, you get a ruler of the galaxy card. That gives you 3 victory points every round while you have control of that galaxy. But whenever you create a galaxy, you bring in the Harbingers of the Void, who are really nasty cards that you have to attack, and until you kill them off. When you kill them off, lots of victory points, but until you kill them off, there's a negative effect on all the players in the game, or possibly particular players in the game. So it can be really difficult having those out in the game. We had one out that stopped us scoring victory points, which is an absolute pain. We'd have got all these things lined up ready to kill off, and then the Harbinger came out that wouldn't allow us to score any victory points, so we had to kill that first, which caused a lot of us to lose a lot of points, because the other one was stealing, destroying colonies, which left us with less power and less resources to build. So really, really nice little game. Lots of thinking, lots of strategy. I loved it as a solo game. It was a brilliant puzzle, but it added a whole new dimension playing with these guys.
Oh, Ange, the bearded lady. It is good to be playing in the flesh. Again, even though it's cold. It is fresh in the flesh. Artwork, gotta mention it. Absolutely love it. Those Harbingers, even the backs of those cards, there's just this really cool imagery on it. But yeah, I like the way that they're like almost like star systems, but like just gigantic creatures that are out to bring disaster and, well, loads of irritation, as Hipster King has already pointed out. That one that stopped all victory points, I had just managed to get then a ruler of the galaxy. I was going to get 3 victory points at the beginning of each go, and all of a sudden that wasn't going to happen. Very, very irritating. Really like the artwork across all of the cards on this game. It's good, and carries across that kind of like space theme really well. Enjoyed it. It is a prototype, so hopefully some of those tokens will be a little bit smaller and fit on the cards better in the actual game. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Lots of strategy, lots of things to do. I like card games games where there is loads of different ways of scoring, and this had that. It could slow down if you play with somebody with serious AP. But I think tonight it was just the coldness getting to us all and creeping into our joints. Yeah, so good game, lots of fun. Get involved.
Dave the Grey, it's so cold. It's like colder than out of space. It really is, in sunny tropical Sheffield. Anyway, I did really badly at this game, to be honest with you. However, I did have an awful lot of fun doing really badly. The thing that I did well was I got a lot of resources, and when you top out your resource board, you can choose to go to the Federation in the middle and get a faction card. Now the faction cards are just kind of little boosts. They don't do a massive amount. They give you a couple of resources a turn, that kind of thing. However, what they also give you are Galactic diplomacy cards. Diplomacy cards are awesome.
Very Dave. Very Dave.
They are very Dave the Grey, because if you like take that stuff, I love take that stuff. They're the ones that let you completely mess with other people, which is basically what I did all game, and why I lost. They're cards like steal 5 resources off another player, and it's great being in the flesh, because you don't get the full juicy joy from pulling a Dave when you're just playing on TTS.
You played an absolute blinder with James. You've got to talk about it.
So James, James was going to attack me.
I was trying to be peaceful.
James was going to attack me. It was like, haha, I'm going to attack you, Dave. So I'm going to go, are you really sure you want to do that? And he was like, yes. I gave him a chance, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to attack you. Oh, maybe I'm not. And he backed out.
What a bad name.
Fool that he is. At which point we went, okay, we'll have a trade. He needed 6 water, I think it was, to get to the end of his tracker so he could get a faction card. We dallied. I gave him 6 water. And then I stole 5 of them back again. So I get all the good stuff from the trade. I got to the end of the faction. He didn't. We all laughed. We all had fun.
Yeah, we did.
I came very last, but I had a fantastic time doing it, even though it was bitterly cold. Yeah, a lot of fun. Next time we play, I might play a bit differently. They'll probably all gang up on me, because, you know, with a reputation comes, you know, you reap what you sow sometimes. But it's all a laugh. It was a lot of fun. Good to be back. And yeah, check this game out. It was an awful lot of fun.
Slightly Birdie James here. In space, no one can hear you get kicked around by Dave. Oh my goodness. The reason I had to, like, I don't know, try and battle him for those resources was because he'd taken them off me in the first place. I'd worked really hard to get that faction. This is a game where you can build alliances, you can help each other, or you can just, I don't know, whatever the space equivalent of weeing on parades is. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of sliding cubes around. There's, I don't know, like it's the most puzzly kind of space exploration game that I've played. If you like tiny epic games, this game might be a game for you. This box is small but packed with stuff, and the way that they've set this game up is that you can get so much out of like quite a small kind of box in your thing. Like Andrew mentioned, the artwork, I really like how vivid the kind of the neon like 90s rave colours are, and that's lots of fun.
So, Impendium, real pluses for me. You can play it solo, but you can play it to 6 players. We played this at a standard multiplayer game, but there's a co-op, there's a semi-co-op version, there's a whole load of additional modules that you can throw in. There's an AI player that you can join in on a solo game, but you can bring in as an extra player if you want to play it. You know, so there's a whole load of different ways you can play this game. It is a massive amount of game in a tiny little box. There's a lot of strategy. You can go like Dave did. You can play it like a take that game, but you don't have to play that way at all. You can go purely strategic and really puzzly. Really enjoyed this one. Check it out on Kickstarter and make sure you back. This is a really good, fun little game. Big thumbs up from the Hairy Game Lords. Is just about to launch on Kickstarter. It is the sequel to a game, Nova Lux. Impendium from Dragon Impendium from thanks, Dave. They are wanting a serious.
If you like space, if you like pina coladas, it's so cold.